Hey, it's Meet at the Apple. I'm Vito Calisi. This is Jonathan Barron, and we are joined by Christian Scott, which is our third time talking to you, but first time on Meet at the Apple because Christian Scott made his big league debut last week. And before we even get into how excited you are and how great that game was, just how pumped up are you to be at Citi Field this Friday night to just get out there in front of all the fans?
Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome and looking forward to it since I got drafted here. So I mean the Mets fans are awesome. They've been great to me coming up. I just can't wait to go out there, compete to the best of my ability for them. And hopefully we're on the right side of the score sheet for sure.
So let's talk about the first outing. In Tampa Bay, you're a Florida boy. You had tons of friends and family on hand. Your dad was there. Huge cheering section. The 7-line army was there, so a lot of Met fans in the park. Just what was the entire night like for you making that first major league appearance?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun to be able to go out there and compete. To be honest with you, I didn't know what the 7-line army was until I walked out there, and then they all started clapping for me, and I was like, "This place rocks!" So it was really cool to be able to go out there. A lot of Mets fans were out there filling out the trop, so just super excited to be able to go out there in front of my family and friends and be able to do that and soak the moment in with them.
Now, who broke the news of the promotion to you? How'd you find out?
My Syracuse manager, Dickey, actually, he broke the news. I was eating lunch in the lunchroom, and he's like, "We got a team meeting right now." It's like an hour before the game, team meeting. I was like, Something's really good or really bad right now." So I went to the clubhouse, and he told me in front of everybody, and so it's a really cool moment to be able to share with a lot of the guys there. Grew up in the system with a lot of guys who we compete with. We compete every day with each other. Just wouldn't be in the position that I am without those guys pushing me, and with me pushing them. I mean, just love those guys. Just really cool to share that moment with them for sure.
So you met the team in Tampa Bay, of course, where you made your debut. How awesome is it to be a big leaguer, and what's that all been like for you?
Oh man, I got on the plane and I was like, this can't be real life. The guys are awesome, man. Just we got a bunch of great leaders on our team, bunch of great leaders in the clubhouse. Just super blessed to be able to call out these guys teammates. Just the way that they've taken me in and really shown me the ropes has just been something really special for sure.
Yeah, and you've got a couple Gators on the team, Harrison Bader, Pete Alonso. We actually spoke with Harrison last week. And of course, the New York Knicks, I'm not sure if you're following, you're a Florida guy, so you're a Heat fan, right?
I'm a Heat fan, yeah.
All right, so maybe you're not too in on the Knicks, but they've got a trio of Villanova dudes who are kind of carrying the weight right now. And we asked Harrison about that, those vibes of guys that went to the same school. Now, I know Pete and Harrison played together, but you're also a Gator. You got the orange and blue blood going back to your Florida days. How cool is that you guys all had that common thread between you?
Yeah, it was awesome. Share little stories of times that we spent at the school. They had a little bit different experience than I did. They won a little bit more than I did, unfortunately. But they some of the great experiences that they were able to just pass on, and just funny stories that we were able to share. This it's funny how college works sometimes, where guys there's stories that are passed down through classes. So like I was hearing stories about Pete and Bader like when they weren't even on the team for years. So it's just cool to be able to go talk to them and you really just learn a little bit about what got them to this point. The ups and downs that they've had. Just really taking it day by day and just soaking in as much information as I can from them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you have a moment with Francisco Lindor when we saw you on the feed listening to him talk to guys about getting pickoffs at second, and then we saw you actually have a moment and follow up, and it looked like you went over to him to just hear more. Like, what have you been soaking in while you've been with the team so far?
Yeah, just the little things. He was at second base, and he was just kind of just talking about how he's gonna really try to hold the runner at second base, and how to trust him in that situation where if he's telling me to spin move on that, to spin move on that. So just kind of just picking up just little things in the game, that sometimes I may have not noticed beforehand. Just the control that he has of the infield of the game. He's an unbelievable leader, an unbelievable teammate. So just trying to take as much information that we could possibly have from him was huge, and just taking the little things that maybe we could use later in the season to get an out. So it's anything that we could possibly do to give ourselves a better chance to win. I'm all ears for.
Now, one thing we've done with a few guys is we've asked them a little bit about themselves because John is a man upstairs. He's in the control room. So one thing we did for Sevy told us he's a Dragon Ball Z guy. So we had some Kamehamehas going for strikeouts for him. Sean Manaea told us he's a SpongeBob guy, so we prepared some SpongeBob stuff for him. We had an idea of, but before we go with that, have you seen Back to the Future? Are you a Back to the Future fan?
I have not seen it. I've heard a lot of the like phrases from Back to the Future,
One in
but I have not seen
particular.
the actual movie. But so I do need to see that movie for sure. I
Yeah,
do.
so I haven't seen them either. I'm not a big movie guy, more of a hockey guy like yourself. But great Scott is the big phrase that's been thrown around a lot. So if we have your stamp of approval on that, we may or may not have it on the scoreboard on Friday night after your strikeouts. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Go ahead with it. I like
As
it.
long as the strikeout's happening, that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. As long as we're winning, don't care.
All right, now here's another one, another game presentation question for you. Since we've spoken to you twice before, we asked you, I think the first time we chatted when you had that beautiful sky in the background, you were in Akron, Ohio. We asked you if you had thought about the song that you were going to use for your warm-ups during your Citi Field debut. And Vito and I, we went back, we looked, the information, it's all archived. The fans want to go back and hear Christian around this time last year. I believe it was June of 2023. And you said that you...
Wait,
what?
do you remember what you said?
Oh, yeah, good point.
It was probably a Kodak song.
Yes, it
probably,
was. Yes, it was.
That's
All
probably
right.
what I was doing. Yeah. So
Are you still
it's funny,
there?
right after that interview, I went to 2021 Vibes by Lucky, and then earlier this year I went to Everyday Hustle by The Future. So I don't know what song I'm gonna do yet. I mean,
You
honestly,
don't know.
I literally, they told me what's funny is I was actually gonna find out. I was gonna go listen and everything tonight and kind of get a game plan on the plane and just let it go. Whatever happens, happens. So I mean, I don't know what song for sure yet, but I've got a few in mind.
Are you gonna talk to some teammates and see if they have any good input, maybe some helpful words of advice for you on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff McNeil told me to do Simple Man, but I think that's the grind. So I'm not
Dude, he's messing with you. He's messing with you.
No chance.
I think Blade Tidwell, and you can confirm this possibly during the spring breakout game. The Mets played the Nationals. It wasn't televised because he came in between innings. I'm pretty sure he used Simple Man.
He did.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So
I'll have to ask him about it.
Yeah, so you can confirm it will not be Simple Man.
Yeah, it's not going to be Simple Man. No chance.
All right, I think that's probably a safe move. How about the number 4? How about the number 45? Was it given to you, or did you choose it, or had that all go down?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea I was 45 until I showed up in Tampa Bay. But I love it. You know, it's a cool number. You know, I'm good with it. Just kind of honestly, it's whatever number's on a big league uniform I'm all about. You know what I mean? It's an honor to put this uniform on. It's an honor to go out every day and compete in front of these fans. So, I mean, if I'm putting the New York Mets jersey on, man, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
It's a little better than what you have at spring training.
96.
96, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a great jersey to wear. And speaking of wearing things, I don't know if you've picked up on this, but you have joined a very stylish team. We've talked to, of course, you've seen Francisco's his drips. We call it drip here at Citi Field. Harrison, I know some of these guys travel in suits. Do you know what your first day at school, we'll call it, your first Citi Field game, what the drip's going to be? Have you picked it out yet, or do you have to do that in addition to the song selection as well?
So I have not picked it out yet. I was not completely prepared for the big league getting the collared shirts and the pants. I had actually had to go to Macy's in Rochester right before I flew out. So I went.
What was that inventory like?
I went and got a whole new wardrobe. So yeah, it was. I went to Macy's, went back to the hotel, and then we flew out the next day. So really, it's whatever the Macy's in Rochester had for me. That's probably what I'm gonna rock for the first game.
Hey, you got a day off on Thursday. There's a nice place, the Americana in Manhasset on Long Island. I'm sure some of your teammates can tell you about it.
Hey, there's a Nike outlet a block away from here that's also got some great prices if you're looking to save.
Nice. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So your dad was on the broadcast and people were loving him. Is he going to be making it out to New York this weekend?
He is. Yeah, he texted me. He said, "How many tickets can you get?" And I was like, "I have no idea." He's like, "Get over, man."
You're gonna be pitching for free that day, possibly.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. So yeah, but he's. I'm glad that they can all come out. You know, he's something that I'm hopeful that they can all be out there for that. Yeah, you know, I love when he's in attendance. To be able to come out here and really compete for everybody and go out there and show what I got. So that'll be exciting for sure.
What were some of the things that you learned from your first outing? Of course, in the first inning, you faced a little bit of trouble and then you bared down. You got a Rosarena to strike out. You got the double play ball off the bat of Ramirez, and then you just settled in and you just cruised from there. So what can you take into your second start from your first start?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this year has been hitters are really aggressive in zone off of me, especially in the first inning. So really learning I don't necessarily have to throw the ball in the strike zone to get swings on, but at the same time, to be able to establish the strike zone and pound the strike zone to be able to get ahead in the count is huge. So I mean, there's a fine line between just going out there and trying to throw strikes and going out there and you know trying to learn what the hitter's trying to do to you. You know what I mean? So I noticed they were really aggressive on the heater in the first inning. Made a lot of good swings on in the first inning. So made an adjustment out there and was able to keep them off balance after that.
And you were obviously in AAA. Now you're in the big league. So you went from a league that used the automatic ball strike system to no ABS anymore. Is that almost a weight off your shoulders? Because you hear a lot of guys down in AAA or in low A where they also use it, nibbling and trying to be pin perfect. And now you don't have to be. Now you could just throw and not have to think about all of that.
Honestly, I didn't really think about it a whole lot when it was happening. The interesting thing about ABS is like there's not going to be a missed call per se. So what a strike's going to look like, what a ball's going to look like. So you're not surprised. If you're throwing a slider and it's going to be a little bit out of the zone, and you can kind of work your way in from that. So if you throw a ball a little bit out, maybe you've got a little bit leeway to come back in. I'd say the most difficult part for me about that was the top part of the strike zone was a little bit lower than I was used to. So just being able to know like, hey, below the belt is probably going to be the top of the zone for the ABS. And maybe in other leagues we might get the belt or a little bit below or a little bit above. So I think the top of the strike zone was a little bit of an adjustment for me at the first part, but I didn't really notice it a whole lot, and just going out there and just trying to fill it up.
Have you been to Citi Field yet, or is this going to be your first time this weekend?
I have, yeah. I got I won the award last year. So I was able to go out there with
How
my
can I
family.
forget that?
With Jet. Yeah, we went out there with Jet and AJ Sager and Sanger. So it's cool to be able to go out there with all the ponies guys and go out there and have a good time. But yeah, I went to Citi Field last year at the end of the year.
Did you get to eat when you were here last year?
I did, yeah. They had some cheeseburgers in the suite.
Shake Shack?
They did have Shake Shack. Yeah, there was Shake Shack. Yeah. What'd you say?
What about Pat LaFrida's? Did you try that?
I don't remember. I don't remember Pat LaFrida's. I just remember crushing
that up?
Shake Shack.
Well, sometimes
some things don't need a follow up. The man had Shake Shack. Let him enjoy it.
Sometimes the meat is Pat LaFrida's.
Now, is there anything you're looking forward to trying while you're here?
I'm open to suggestions. Is there anything that you guys think I should have?
We had some pastrami with Quintana last week. Next time we sit down with you in this room, we can have some food ready for you to go on a non-game day, of course.
I'm down for that. Yeah, we'll give it a little food grading too. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, smart man, content guy. One last question: what's your message for Mets fans ahead of your Citi Field debut?
I'm really excited to go out there and compete for you guys. Every time that we go out there, really all of us, all we want to do is win for you guys. It's you guys are the best fans in the world. We're really excited to go out there and compete every day. So every time I get the ball, I'm gonna give absolutely everything I've got for you guys to win the ball game. So I'm excited to go out there on Friday and do that for you guys. Absolutely.
I'm ready to run through a wall.
Well, Christian, this has been really fun, dude. I mean, last time we saw you, I drove you on a golf cart. So, I feel like we've been through this journey together just based on that
we'll miss the pothole the next time, but that's for another day.
You had a pothole?
I did, yeah. It was only my fifth time driving ever.
You didn't tell me that. You left that part out when you told me about the journey.
Thanks so much for joining us, Christian. Not only are we excited to see you this weekend, but I'm sure fans are just super pumped up. So we'll see you all here this weekend. And as always, we ask you all to subscribe to Meet at the Apple on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, turn on post notifications for them at YouTube so you know when the episodes drop. Like episodes like this one that you had no idea was coming out.
This one came out. We'll see you guys on Friday at the Apple.
Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.